So, hello everyone.
Hello,
Hello Pharaoh and
Dominus.
Dominus here. Yeah, first time we'll be streaming the grand finals of the 2023 Forbidden Stars tournament. Yeah, the guys are rolling right now. Who is going to be the first player? And
I think Riistan won the roll. He had 13 and Obi got 7.
all right. Yeah. So Riistan made himself a second player. So the Alex is doing all the decisions. Okay. So Space Marines are already banned.
That's an interesting choice.
Yes, it's the same thing as he has done against me in the finals of losers bracket.
I think that ban hints to him picking Necrons. We will see. But I feel strongly like that he's banning Space Marine since he's planning on picking Necrons.
I think you might be right. I have really bad experience with this kind of events previous game, right?
Yeah. For people that are new, the way it works is that you roll the dice, and the one that gets the highest amount wins the roll, and that person will pick if he's first player or second player. In this case, Red, Riistan, won the roll, and then he gets to pick who is first player. He gave that to Alex, who is green, and or who is named Obi here in the game. And that means that Alex gets to pick who bans first and who bans second. He also gets to pick who picks faction first and who picks second. So we'll see. Obviously, Alex picked that Riistan should ban first, and now he banned Tyranids.
Tyranids. Yeah, he went for it because this is also a strong favorite of Riistan.
And he picked Eldar, so Alex picked that he should be the first player to pick a faction, and he picked Eldar, which is a strong aerial faction, which Tyranids also is, so it makes sense to ban Tyranids, to ban
Definitely.
the opponent from picking another strong aerial faction.
The thing is, the Alex is first player, and this puts Eldar a little back because for most factions, I think it does not matter as much, but for Eldars and Tyranids, it's really favorable to be the second one because you can always shield yourself by the voids from strong land factions like Orcs, Necrons. I think Riistan is thinking about Necrons right now. So this might be very bloodthirsty game if he picks this. Maybe he's going to surprise.
I don't know which faction would you say are strong against Eldar. Oh, I picked Orcs. Okay.
Okay. Which one? I would say Orcs, Necrons are good as a second player versus Eldar first. And he went for it.
Yeah. I would say Orcs are similar to Necrons in the way that they are strong early game, strong fighters early game, and they benefit being a bit more flexible maybe than Necrons.
Definitely way more flexible, I would say. Things, cards like, we can see here, Green Tide or
Yeah.
Crocs, this gives them a lot of flexibility.
Even work faster if you get knocked out from a system can give you a lot
Oh
of
yeah, that's also maybe rarely used, but one in
It's
a
still an
time, very
option.
useful.
Yeah.
Necrons is quite limited in this kind of options, but has much more sheer power, I would say.
Yeah, I think Necron options are more restricted to how the game goes. So usually you take an upgrade that makes you being able to build bastions when you build something, but there are other options. They tend to play better when you are ahead in the game, I would say, to tech up fast, for example, as Necron can be very strong.
Yeah, this is something I experienced recently.
Yeah.
Then I was orc, to be honest.
And for people watching that maybe don't know us, I would say Farao has the advantage here in experience. He has played way more games than I have. I have owned this game in the board game copy since 2015 when it came out, but I haven't played it as much and recently got into playing it online.
Okay, but you have first edition. Nice one. I mean, way longer than me. For me, it was the beginning was like 2018, and I was immediately hooked.
Yeah, this is my favorite board game that is a one-on-one fighting board game.
High five.
It offers what I want. It's very similar to the RTS game. If guys that are watching have played computer games, it's very
StarCraft.
similar to StarCraft, which makes
Yeah,
sense since, for those who don't know, Forbidden Stars is based on another board game that was a board game iteration of StarCraft, the PC game.
whoa. Okay, we have very strong opening from both players. So, what is surprising by Eldar that he already began with the ship. It's something I rarely do because this limits you in how the map goes. This might be in very weird place, but the Riistan reacted really strong, putting Nop and Orc Boy both on one planet. Okay, I
Yes,
have impression that Riistan is going to be really aggressive.
yeah, I think so too. He will try to take the first objective from the Eldar first round, I guess.
And probably, I would say, the rest of the forces will go to the second one, because, like I said, the Eldar is not able to shield completely from opponent by voids if he's first player. That's why I think it's quite a strange choice for first, but Alex is very good with Eldars. And Eldars probably has the highest win ratio during this tournament, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I think you're correct. And yeah, in when you're playing Eldar in general, you want voids. So in this game, there's the worlds. You have each tile is a system, and it's voids and worlds. And the voids are where the spaceships are. And as Eldar, you try to put as many voids in between you and your opponent so you can control them because they have very many ships and very strong ships. So that's what
Yes.
Pharaoh is talking about. Here, orcs have a land bridge to Eldar's first system, which can
Yeah.
be very dangerous for Eldar.
That's true. The ship is not necessary to go from this objective with NAP to this one. And Eldar has 6 ships in possession in total, I mean in his reserve. Starting with 2. Orc starts with no ship. So
Yeah.
this is very like these factions are most different from base game, I would say. Like Chaos Space Marines and Space Marines are pretty like a bit mirrored factions. And these ones are on the opposite sides, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the orcs want land bridges basically, so areas where there's worlds next to each other so they can just move without ships. And Eldar wants the opposite. They want a lot of voids between all the worlds, so you have to fight their ships to get to
Oh,
their
let's
spaces.
see. The Riistan finally did pulled out one of the boys, so maybe not that risky.
Yeah, not as much all in, I would
I
say.
would say he would like to occupy this free planet here later, and if he put too many here, he might left himself too less troops to empower this
Yeah,
his home system. Okay, so a bit less aggressive.
but I agree with you. Eldar placing the first tile with so many troops. In general, as I play the game, I try to not give up so much in the first placement when you are first player because
I
then you
usually
can
do same.
counter.
Definitely agree. Sometimes it makes sense, and I've seen successful games being played that way, but I feel a bit uncomfortable going this because it
It
feels
feels
a
more
little all
risky.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more risky, I would say.
And here is very classic play from Eldar. When you go for his home system, most of the time you would like to put the right guard here because the Eldar dominate ability allows him to teleport out this right guard in the place where he will be needed first round. So you've got both great domination, double cash, and this guy being teleported somewhere where he is needed. So this is classic play.
Yeah, I would say it's a bit unconventional. I guess there's different players play it differently, but having Hellbore frigate, I've seen both having one of your ships in the home system, but also have no ships in the home system and build ships in the home system as second player. But he is first player this round, so
And here we have something in the middle.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe to elaborate what Dominus said, when you are second player, you are sure to build on top of your opponent. So you are sure that you will build these two Hellbore frigates. When you are first player, then the opponent may cover you in the first round. So you'd like, on the other hand, to have these two frigates here. And here we have something in the middle.
Yes. I'm quite pleased that he is playing the way he is because it makes the game less predictable. So it will be usually more fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely. This is the grand final, so both players has really developed their great strategies, but to win the games at this level, sometimes you really have to surprise your opponent. Like Riistan surprised me a lot with his choice of banned faction against me. He went with Space Marines. I was not expecting that, and I was aiming to play the Space Marines, to be honest. So by his unconventional choice, he already won a bit before the battle started, right?
Yeah, it's a bit unsuspecting that you would ban Space Marine because in general Space Marine is looked down on, I would say, as a bit of a weaker faction. I don't agree with it, especially not in 2-on-2, but they have a rumor of being not so good. But I think when you come up to this level of play that we are at in the tournament now, people know that Space Marines can be very strong and they know how to play Space Marines.
Definitely. There is a player from Sweden called Vape. He absolutely mastered the Space Marine. They are his favorite faction. I think one-on-one they are quite good, rather in the upper tier than bottom. Something in the middle.
Yeah, I think when you talk about Space Marines, the lack of flexibility is their biggest downside, I would say. But they are very strong in different departments. Talking about flexibility, both these factions that the players are playing now, Orcs and Eldar, are very flexible, and it's one of their greatest strengths.
That's correct, but I would say their flexibility lies somewhere in different areas of the games. Like Eldar does not have as many nice order upgrades. Of course, they are good, but not that strategically changing as Orcs ones. But on the other hand, Eldar has Orcs as well, game-changing event cards.
Mm-hmm.
That is something like when you draw. How it was called when you can flip the order tokens on top or bottom.
Oh,
What,
yeah,
manu-
yeah,
what,
yeah. When
what
you can
maneuver?
remove the orders, yes.
Yeah, this is absolutely the best card in the game, I would say, 1 versus 1.
Yeah, it's so good that people just save it and use it to win the games. This is what I expected from Riistan, to play aggressive and go for the factory.
Here, I
Yeah,
see.
most likely to make Alex put his first warp storm there to block.
He has no
So
choice, I would say.
yeah, so he can threaten the first objective that Alex placed more clearly, because if Alex places a warp storm between both their home systems, then Riistan can place a warp storm blocking in Alex. But we'll see how they do it.
Yes, I expect that. Looking at this stage, I expect that Eldar's home system will be completely cut off because, like you said, if Alex prevents that way being attacked first round, then Riistan will prevent him being reinforced in the first objective.
Yeah, of course, Eldar isn't suffering as much from this blocking of the home system, since they, like you pointed out before, they can dominate and teleport out with the Wraith Guard. But he is first player, Eldar is, so he's in a rough spot, I would say, just looking at the map.
I agree. He will probably lose something first round. That's possible. But what I like being first player is that you have really strong second round if you prepare well. So, and during the tournament, it's not that bad being first because the winning statistics are almost half on half, I would say, something like this.
Yeah.
So it turns out it doesn't matter as much, it's just how we approach it.
Both players are saving up. They just have one unit left, and then they have a system which has a world that has 3 material. So
Gold
a
mine.
gold mine, I would say, yes, or an oil rig, or whatever people want to say. And you want to
Death
place
planet.
that as safe as possible. And the reason Alex is placing like this is he has 2 voids between the Orc's first system and his system, and then they can't use Orc rocks to jump over and kill his pretty weak Eldar unit over there.
Yes, there is no way for orcs to quickly jump in there because there are 2 voids from one side and planet from the other one.
Yeah, I guess
Probably best.
if Alex would have anticipated Riistan playing like this, he would have placed both his ships on his first tile, because he would be able to do a orbital strike on the gold mine, for example, because he would save his home system with a warp storm either way, because of the aggression from Riistan.
That's right, but it's part of the game that you don't know it at the very beginning.
Yeah.
But he might still try with the one ship, probably too risky and maybe not worth it because the orc has 2 hit points, the boy. The best target on this map are the Elder Aspect Warriors, but orc is not the best shooter, so
Yeah, exactly.
we won't see, I think, orbitals from this side. But yeah, the orbital strikes are overall very viable strategy for Eldar. If you have 2 ships and this upgrade for 1, you have already 7 die, and it's most of the time it's really enough to evaporate unit level 0, maybe 1.
Yeah, and of course, capturing it would be better, because then you have a 6 material swing. Your opponent loses 3 material, and you gain 3 material world. But just shooting and killing the orc boy and denying your opponent 3 material can be very strong, especially in the opening. And if the orc has to focus on retaking his gold mine.
Especially wasting, that's correct. Wasting orders just to get something back.
In general, I would say orbital strike is not used a lot, but it can be a viable strategy, especially with Eldar, like you said.
also like doing that with Space Marines and Chaos Space Marines. They also provide some options, especially when you play against like orcs. So you still have to play a bit Eldar style to survive. Yeah, shield yourself with voids, so that naturally push you towards possession of a lot of ships. So why not make a use of it?
Yeah, exactly. This is interesting. I didn't think he would put this system like this, Riistan. I thought he would
So
put the
close.
gold mine close to his home system so they would connect and he could use the orc rocks to jump over. But this is pretty aggressive. But again, he likes to play aggressive, so it's not out of character for him to place like this, I would say.
Maybe that's kind of provocation.
Well, it's smart, I would say. Like I said in the beginning, orcs are strong in combat in early games. So it makes sense putting pressure on the Eldar. I mean, he can teleport his Wraith Guard, but he can only do it to one place. And the way Riistan has placed, he has many options. He
What?
can go for the objective.
Uh, was that warp already placed? Like this? It was Riistan who placed the warp like this.
Hmm.
Okay, that's something. I mean,
That's very interesting. I thought he would place the warp in between the Eldar home system and the Eldar first system.
I would say the same. Okay, so they started with the orders very quickly. Okay, looks like strategize, right?
Yeah, I would say that. So the way this game works is the first player places one order, and then the second player places another order, and then you do that until both players has placed four orders. And there's four different orders. There's deploy, strategize, dominate, and advance. And you only have two of each. So in any one turn, you can only place, say, for example, two advance. I would say he put a build, the orc, and then a build from Eldar, I would guess.
Perhaps for Eldar it's quite simple because Orc is not threatening his home system, so it can be like build, dominate, dominate,
Hmm.
which is very often play when Eldar, and this makes sense because his second round will be really strong then, and probably he would like to have some city to push right guards because the aspects cannot stand against these masses of orcs. He really needs right guards.
Yeah, I would expect dominate from the orc, since the orc can build with his dominate. But if he dominates his furthest system, where he has an elder objective, he can only grab one reinforcement. So I guess that's a bad part about dominating over there. But he gets a stronger
Yeah,
army.
but still, I mean, the Alex still can react to that. He has last order. He may. Ah, no, sorry. He's thinking about his third. But his fourth may be the advance in this system. Depends if he just gave up on
Hmm.
defending this. But I would say in the past I was thinking like, okay, I would often give up one objective. But if you happen to defend it, it really changes your situation from round second onward.
Yes. Because if you manage to defend it, not only, even if you don't kill your opponent, I would say you gain a lot in time or in orders. They waste orders trying to take something that they don't manage to.
Definitely. Definitely, I agree.
And in general, for people who don't play this game as much, when you're first player, you're a bit more on the defensive, I would say, since you don't place the last order. And as a second player, you have more of a momentum going aggressive. So in general, first players tend to defend a bit more.
Yeah, that's usually how the things plays. Obviously, there is like hidden resource in this game. It's called initiative, I would say, kind of momentum. Sometimes I'm trying when I really try to take the initiative back despite being first, I'm just covering my opponent blindly. I mean, I'm just going to disrupt every of his plan to force him into my play.
Yeah.
Depends. Yeah, it's
Deny him actions, basically, I would say.
that's right. Okay, so we have big pyramid of orcs orders in his home system. So he's also preparing for second round.
Yeah. I thought he would go for which he can still do, I guess, go for the first objective or the objective that Eldar has in the middle. And he can still do that. He can just push into that objective.
With Nob and Orc Boy just abandoning, right? This system. Is
Yeah.
that what you mean?
Yeah, exactly. He could even, depending on, since if he has dominate in his home system, he will get reinforcements, right? And he could just move the Orc Boy
No.
to where the knob is placed, and then attack with the knob and use reinforcements. If he fancies
No.
doing that.
That will not work because the boy has to stay here. You can move only,
Oh
there.
yeah, that's true. He has to attack with the Orc Boy. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so the way he's set up, he can't do that. He will have to attack with the Orc Boy if he wants to do that.
Okay. Okay, this is big. I already have some idea. Maybe this right guard is going into offensive.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
You think the Orc will counter that with just building a bastion, maybe?
I would rather think with dominate, unless he already spent 2 in his home system.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what he has in his home system. I feel like he doesn't have a strategize yet.
I like this play from Alex, really. It's something I've just said in before a moment, maybe not exactly like this, but he's trying to take initiative from even being first player as an Eldar.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Oh, this will show the tempo of the match pretty early. I think we
Yeah.
have double aggression.
Well, amazing. We are definitely looking at the grand finals game.
The thing is, if Eldar dominates, he can move his Wraith Guard to hold and then force the Orc to attack, maybe. Oh, well, nobody's blocked, I guess. And
No,
blocking
so
is, yeah.
Eldar would be forced to go first anyway, before the Orc.
Yes.
So Eldar would start with teleporting this right guard.
Yeah.
It seems so. Okay, he took cash and reinforcement, definitely going very aggressive.
Yeah. He wants to attack already.
Okay.
Then he gives Orcs a bit of a conundrum, because if Orcs don't attack now, he will give Eldar a chance to take up, because
Strategize.
there's a strategize on the gold mine, I would say.
Yeah, this is exactly what you said.
Then again, Orcs have a reinforcement at their start, so I can see this also working. It's very risky though. This could go both ways, I would say.
Exactly. This, like, starting decks, one tier 1, one tier 0 from both players. Eldar has good starting deck as well. Orc has more sheer firepower, but is a little more random. Depends what you roll, what you draw. I would say Eldar is a little more consistent here, but you really can't take too many damage being Eldar. You have just one big guy who can tank once. Maybe then you draw Command of the Autarch, which brings this guy back, but
If you get damaged over more than one turn, it can really hurt us, Eldar, if damage keeps coming through and you can't rally your Wraith Guard, which is the bigger unit that has more HP. He's thinking about if he wants to attack or not.
I think he will, because like
If he doesn't, Eldar has the option, right, to strategize.
go 2 versus 1.
Yeah, to go 2 versus 1, upgrade so he gets even stronger. So
He really has to do so.
Yeah, I think I would attack.
Yeah, me too, because it will be even worse later. Okay, first battle. Oh, that's nice.
So Eldar got a very aggressive roll. What do you say about this dice roll? Who would you say it favors?
I would say orcs.
I would also say orcs.
Being Eldar, I would like to draw as many defense in this situation as possible. Because naturally, Eldar has bigger morale than orcs. It's, as you can see, their units, the basic guys of the orcs has 1 morale, the aspect warrior has 2, and this is your advantage. Then morale does not fight until the end of the battle, so you have to withstand these 3 rounds. So this is already 2 of the statistics you don't bring much during the battle, and you have to somehow overcome this. No idea, depends on the cards, but I know the Eldar deck well. I'm not sure even striking scorpions are a solution here. Maybe ranger support, which provides, but no, this is for retreat. Hard to tell.
I would say in general, since he didn't upgrade, he hasn't had a chance to upgrade yet. This favors the orcs a lot.
This is what I expected, because orc has much more hit points than Eldar, and this is also what I expected. I mean, they had to play it like this.
Oh, he got the defense.
Yeah. And orcs lose the morale.
Yeah, of course.
So they go kill each. They're going for kill. Okay. Next salvo like this will obliterate the Eldar forces.
I would say he was very lucky, the Eldar, to roll a defense die in this case. Otherwise, he would have completely lost his Wraith Guard, his big unit, which...
He would kill 1 aspect and then bring 3 damage to right guard, but still lose a unit.
He would still lose a unit, so...
Orc already has.
Yeah, the advantage.
Yeah, and he already lost the reinforcements, so... This is, despite this roll being so gambling, the striking scorpions and this roll, that was very strong.
Yes. Now he really needs a rally card, I would say. Let's see what he picks.
Yeah, Command of the Autarch, definitely.
And then, of course, we don't know what the orcs have. If maybe this was his only aggressive card. I doubt it, but
I think I would go for, because it's hard to say right now, but if you played first round like this as an orcs, if he has second Shoota Boys, I would go for it, because it may not go well in the orcs' favor. So maybe he's able to obliterate everything here, and just make Eldar does not go for his second objective.
Yeah.
So like kill everyone is also a solution.
Yeah, it's a very orky solution also. Okay.
Okay, so he go for defense. Okay, maybe this is not bad. This is this random part I was talking about previously.
Yeah, and of course, Command of Autarch.
Alex has really good cards. he could draw like, this offensive cards only, having that role and being really forced. Ranger support goes with it. If so, then he has beautiful hand.
Yeah, if he has Ranger support on his hand and he plays that with Command of Artark, it will be strong.
Yeah, free rally without any condition, and then
and bring
good
more
symbols.
defense, yeah.
Yeah.
And also more morale. But something tells me he doesn't have it because he's thinking very long about this.
Maybe he's thinking about an additional gun, because he is able, if he brings gun, he's able to knock out this Orc Boy completely from this battle.
To eliminate the Orc Boy, yes.
And for him, it's not much of a difference because he already takes 2, so okay. He went defensively.
Yeah, so 1 damage to each. So the Orc Boy survives. Oh, is he gonna kill the reinforcement? He's starting to be greedy to have both his units not routed so he can attack next round, I would say.
Yeah. Okay, he went greedy.
Yeah, I think the combat has shifted to the Eldar's favor via the Scorpion and rolling the defense dice.
Absolutely true. That when I saw this roll, I wasn't very convinced, but it turns out like we said before the battle, the combats between orcs, eldars at the very beginning can really go either way. When the forces are even, decks are vanilla.
And like you pointed out, orcs are a bit more random in their ways because they re-roll dice, and Eldar is more set in their path, so they are easier to read for the opponent, but it's also easier to know what you expect, I guess, from the deck as a player.
Yeah, there is much more, that's maybe too much said, but a bit more strategy to the battle, I think, because it's not to say that orcs doesn't have any kind of strategy or so, but you just okay. He has good cards as well. And I would say this is too late from my perspective.
Yeah,
I would go with both Shuta boys immediately.
I had to put pressure on the Eldar, I guess.
Because now.
Oh, is he gonna retreat? No.
He has to take 2. Yeah, but the
orc is routed, so.
Yeah, the bad information is he has still 1 aspect warrior, so he can just walk in here.
Yeah, and deny the orc from defending the objective.
And has 2 material. That's big.
Yes. It's
really
a good
big.
material swing. I guess the orc gets 1 material back via retreating, but still, that turned out really good for Eldar. And the second Eldar objective is in a good spot for Eldar to capture if he managed to hold off the aggression in the coming rounds.
Oh, I see. That's.
Oh, strategize.
Okay. Okay, he picked Sea of Green, if I'm correct, and removed Gretchen.
Gretchen, yes.
Not a surprise, not in this game.
So he could have strategized, but then he would have risked Eldar strategizing also. Yeah, I think it's attacking was still a
The
good
best
choice.
option.
Yeah.
I think Riistan play was risky. What I was thinking about putting just dominate on top. You will fight then with 2 reinforcements, right? Because he started with 1, here we'll have another one, and he could field boy. Hard to tell.
Yeah.
Like if Riistan won this battle, then it would be excellent for Orc then.
Yes, exactly.
Strategize. Okay, right guard support. This is also, I think, my favorite pick against the Orcs. Really flexible defensive card. And Howling Banshees are out.
Yeah.
They are good against Chaos, I would say, but against Orcs, rather not.
Yeah, it's a aggressive card, and Orcs do aggressiveness better, I would say. It's hard to outshoot the Orcs, especially early game.
Okay, we had the Dominate in the home system.
Did he build anything, or is he thinking about
I think
it?
no. I think not. He's probably his.
He probably has a build there, I would say, as the last order.
That's right. Okay, and there it comes, the build in the Eldar's home system. So he had cash and 4. So Aspect Warrior. Will he go cocky with the city?
That would be very cocky. Then again, yeah, he could dominate to move a unit back, since he is first player, move his Wraith card back and build in that system. But yeah, thinking of the next round, I'm talking about that one.
That would enable you to build right guard. I mean, it's fun because we started, you mentioned the RTS games before, and this is classic RTS decision. Go early advantage or late advantage that benefits you after some time, but put you in the weaker position now. He's thinking, I think.
Yeah,
About the
which
city.
makes sense.
I know he's greedy. He would like to have this city. City is nice because it also occupies the planet and you don't have to keep the unit there. So it counts somehow as a unit, but it's for free, not for 2.
Yeah, I think he also feels a bit safe since he has created space between the Orc force in the top left. If we look at it from my perspective, that is furthest away towards the Orc objective. Yeah, and he can just teleport the right card. Yeah, so
and I think the city makes sense because he will be second player. He will be able to put right guards here. He really needs right guards. Oh, okay, Riistan is preparing for it. Okay.
And this also makes sense, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if Eldar takes this planet that he has built on, the Eldar wins. So he has to protect that.
And it's also strong offensive position. Okay, yeah. So Eldar got 11, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Versus 7. Wow. 18 material on the board. This is the maximum because the single system can give you as much as 3.
Yep. So I think this is one of the things that he took into account when building a city, how much money he would gain, since, like you explained, he is second player next round.
Yeah. Oh,
and this is the card that Pharaoh mentioned earlier, Warp Gate. That
not this one, but this
it's
is
one of the, yeah.
But this is also game changer.
It's the second strongest one, I would say. It's not the order changing one, but yeah.
Agree, it's Ninja Strike. So you have to be really careful if you have all planets occupied if you see this one. Because the new front can come from anywhere. And what do we have? Okay, this is also good. I mean, maybe he would go for his home system. The funny part is he could pick the planet in the corner to get 2, but he seems he really needs this one boy more here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's also something for something, like payoff. Yeah, but the home systems is where the action will take place, I feel.
Yeah, since he is first player, Riistan, that is, he's under a lot of pressure now to defend that home system where he has the objective very exposed towards the Eldar. Don't forget Eldar can dominate, so they can move units pretty handily around the board. So the Wraith Guard being far away isn't maybe as far away as it seems.
Absolutely.
And Warp Gate basically mimics Dominate, but in maybe even a stronger way, so he can definitely move a lot of units around.
Yeah, it's instead of revealing an order also, so it can either further slow your opponent down. I mean, you can wait for opponent's move. Sometimes really important during tempo fights.
Yeah.
I would say this warp storm movement, which Alex did with Wargate, also is bad for Riistan. Limits a bit, maybe doesn't matter as much this round, but Riistan might really felt a little squished here. In
Yeah.
this corner.
I think at the moment I see Eldar as being in the lead. Do you think he will go for trying to take the objective or trying to maybe go for the gold mine planet of the Orc? Because obviously he's second player, so he wants to be aggressive, but he could really put a hurt on the economy of Riistan and maybe take up to 2 cities, which would make him very strong.
Okay, this is... Yeah, this is another choice the player has to make. To be honest, if I would be able to strategize maybe second time right now, and having 2 right guards in the factory, I would probably try to go for the objective.
Yeah.
But the option you mentioned, going for the oil rig and successfully defending your home system, because Riistan certainly would try to push right now. Despite being attacked or not, he will probably put 1 or maybe 2 advances in Alex's home system. So
Yes.
if you are able to hold and at the same time take this free material planet, then it's huge.
Yeah, that could be very strong, I would say.
No idea. The players already surprised me, so I do not dare to guess the tactics.
So this placement that the Orc did, I would guess is a strategize, but it could be a dominate also to build.
Or maybe even an advance to
Yeah, there's
to counter this material loss. What Riistan is maybe trying to do is to bring the attention somewhere else.
yes, that's what I was thinking also. Make Eldar or Alex waste his advances or other types of orders.
Mind games here.
Because if Alex doesn't put enough pressure on Riistan, the Orcs here, he's gonna have trouble next round when Orcs are second player.
Yeah, and especially if Riistan is able to take something back, like this 2 material planet, I feel like this might be a push. I would be certain if he picked these 2 orc boys to be joined to join this NUP, which was which retreated previous round.
Mm-hmm. For the event, he could have put 2 orc boys up in the left corner instead of down in his home system.
Yeah, but that would be so risky. Like, he has one objective right now to defend.
Then again, the way he plays now, having 5 orc boys down in the home system puts a lot of pressure on Alex to do something this round before the
expect
orcs become too big of a threat. Because they also, if you remember, they upgraded to Green Tide, which is a card that benefits the orc player being more numerous than the enemy in combat.
Sea of Green. Sea of Green.
Sea of Green, yes.
That's right. But now, when you mention these 5 orc boys in this orc's home system, I really expect Vag to be both, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It might be big push with Vag. That absolutely makes sense.
Yeah, I figured since he wants to have big numbers in his home system, it's some kind of play on those kind of cards.
Okay, we can expect some action in the orc's home system. So big build definitely goes on top. So I guess he probably not going to attack the free material planet, but if he goes for both.
Yeah, I think he has conceded the idea of going for the gold mine.
We have to remember he still has the warp gate, so he does not need as much preparation as usual. Because
Yes.
he could suddenly be anywhere.
Yeah. Will be interesting to see if Riistan, the orc player, puts aggression towards the home system of the Elder. He might not, because he might view it as a wasted action, depending on if he strategizes, like you said, to pick Wog and go aggressive or not.
This will be also very, very all in. Because if he puts advance here and then he's being covered with build, then Alex obviously will build as strong forces as possible.
And he has Warp Gate.
Yeah, additionally. And Riistan will be forced to attack there, I would say, if he decided to put an advance order.
Yeah, then it would be all in.
What?
I would also agree on that. The Warp Gate card really frees up Alex to not commit as much in the defense as he would have otherwise.
I think the orc might be trying to do something like double strategize this round. This is something I would try probably, because if he won't be. Oh, okay. So yeah, this was my first idea when I saw this board state at the beginning of the round, that they probably will exchange some advances. Only one can be successful.
Yeah. Okay, he's gonna cover it already. Okay. Yeah, that was interesting. He could have gone for an aggressive placement there on the 3 planet, but now they've committed to this this all-in war.
Okay, this is crazy. Oh, okay. He did not expect a double advance here, and I guess the second order here might be the build.
I think the orc order on the 3 material planet is a strategize, and I
would
think
say so,
Eldar
right.
putting an advance there, would
Right.
have blocked him from doing what he wanted more than it did.
Vag,
Yeah.
here it comes, right? Yeah, for the mechanics.
And the Eldar was the second player, so he would still be able to block with a build, So I would have favored going advance on the 3 material plant, I would say, to block the strategize.
This VAC really can make a difference, I think.
Yes. Now, Warp Gate, of course, can keep orcs blocked. Do you think this is a advance he's thinking about revealing now?
Here? No, I would say not.
If that is an advance, I would understand why he didn't place an advance on the 3 material orc world.
You were thinking just to get rid of these forces and has freedom on this side of the map, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's okay, but
It's risky, I would say.
It's risky and not that beneficial, I would say, because this is still a Nob and Orc Boys, which are 2 planets apart from your objective.
And he has a reinforcement. It's a
Strategize. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, and he has the reinforcement as well.
So do you think the orc has a strategize there then, maybe?
I would say yes. I guess it's double strategize.
I would also guess that.
And second card will be Biker Nubs. Okay, for him, right guard advance. Interesting. He's thinking about right guard advance.
He will be attacked, I guess, since he will build and the orc will come for him, so he knows that. In his home system, I mean.
Wave Serpent is best here, but he's not available yet.
yeah. Because if he reveals his build, then and he can't build a city there anyways. In the home system, I mean.
Yeah.
I mean,
which card would you pick?
Swooping Hawks kind of counters Wog a bit, since your opponent loses 3 guns,
And it's good against orcs with Command of the Autarky. I mean, it's even if you don't like to play it, it's still good backup for command.
Yes.
To defense against orcs, nothing to be sad of.
Yeah. I'm leaning towards I would play Swooping Hawks, but obviously I'm not in the final, so I'm just guessing here.
Fire Dragon is like no-brainer because it's always strong card.
Yes, exactly. But it's, I would say, a bit more risky. Okay.
Rightborn Singers. Okay, this is unusual pick. But he's so rich that he can afford.
Is it to build a bastion on his factory planet, maybe?
Makes sense. Right guards, bastion.
Yes. And maybe Swooping Hawks also. Yeah, he's thinking about it. Wraith.
Both of this.
Wraith Guards Advance or Swooping Hawks?
The problem is, if you buy Swooping Hawks, you would really like to get rid of Striking Scorpions, I would say, because these are kind of similar a bit, and you cannot just get rid completely out of guns your deck because you will be not flexible. Well, if you're Space Marines, then you're able to.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm kinda reserved with ideas of deck building that is too favorable towards either guns or shields, at least to some degree. Advance is strong, I like this card, but the orc isn't the best target for it.
Yeah, and an orc coming at you, because I guess he knows what is gonna happen next. Orc is gonna come for him. And I think he figured out that orcs will also strategize. So he's also thinking about that, I guess.
Yeah, he may already guess.
Because the good thing for the orc here is he gets to see what he picks, and then he gets to adapt and pick. But in this case, I would say, like you said, Biker Knobs is a given, since he doesn't even have a city, the orc.
Okay, Biker Naps are quite good if you have more hit points, but it's it may not be true during next battle because Alex will have right guards, which are a bit more tough, and Riistan will attack only with boys. He might surprise us with Meganops, we'll see, but
Yeah,
this is really tough decision. I mean, the best card was already picked. Right guard support is without the doubt out no-brainer versus Orcs, but then this three depends on your opponent development. I would maybe pick this right guard advance because it's a bit in counter pick to Vak. Just a bit, not it's like not a counter or so, but
it's not a full commit, but it's still good against Wog. Yeah.
and has this moral icon as well. Gives you more die. So that also okay, what he picked? Let's see.
Let's see.
Okay, fire dragons. That's hit and run. That's probably natural choice. Oh,
Oh,
if he picks striking scorpions, that would be really aggressive then.
I think it would seal the game if he does that and he managed to hold back the orcs. He's gonna win the next. Yeah, but it's very aggressive. Yes.
Yeah, really.
So he's down to 8. So he has 8
Very cocky.
material to build with, and then keep in mind he also has the warp gate to move units in. And like we expected, another strategize from the orc.
Double strategize. So, biker naps on or mega naps. Now he sees that Alex has really aggressive deck.
Yes.
And these cards, they are funny. I mean, they create a lot of combinations with other of your starting cards, orders which you are playing. Then, I mean, Neganops can turn to be really offensive card because your opponent rerolls the shields. So, but I just like the idea of having these two guns sitting on the table, what I usually pick.
Yeah, from the biker knobs.
That's correct.
And you also get a shield, and the orcs are already tough to kill, so with orcs or necrons, the tougher units, you shouldn't underestimate just one shield. It can make a unit rout or die, I would say.
Yeah, this free icons on having free icons on cards level 0, it's already nice. Biker.
I would say biker makes more sense since he probably figured the Eldar will build a bastion, and he's probably gonna have to try to break through the defenses of the Eldar.
You know, Mega Nobs are on the other hand a bit counterpick to right guard support because if Eldar just keep on stacking the defense die, then you can play Mega Nobs to make him reroll all these shields.
Yes, this is true.
Really hard to tell. I'm starting to shifting toward Mega Nobs in this situation, but let's see what Riistan picks. He's probably looking at his opponent's deck. No. Okay, sorry, he already picked the card, but I don't know which one. We'll see.
I think he picked biker knobs.
Biker Nobs.
Yeah, we'll see.
Shuta Boys is really strong with combination with Biker Nobs.
Yeah, I think he doesn't want to throw away Slugger Boys because he has a rally. Yeah. He went away with Ard Boys instead. So, two pretty aggressive decks that will face off against each other.
Nice one. Who has more hit points then? Because Orc has no single order in his system, so he will just try to do as much with this 5 boys probably.
And a reinforcement.
Not to mention, Eldar has one more option. If even Orc wins here, I mean, Eldar has the ship, so he might try to maybe build one more ship. to be able to reach this planet on the
So
down.
orcs also got orc rocks, which makes sense, I guess.
Okay.
Because he won't be able to do anything more, and he's gonna attack and then attack again, I guess, is his strategy.
That's right.
And now Eldar is going to build in his own system. Let's see if he
How
builds
much?
a bastion.
8 he has, so I'd say it's 2 right guards and bastion.
He can also teleport. Oh, he didn't do that. He went for the build.
Yeah, it's not that. I mean, he will be immediately attacked probably right now. Well, there's no other option. I'm not a fan of this Rightborn singers being. Sorry, it was needed for Bastion, but.
But don't you think? Didn't you expect him to use Warp Gate to teleport the Wraith Guard to his factory?
Before
Yes,
this
before.
move, yes.
Yes.
Maybe he forgot.
Maybe he forgot. We'll see. Or he has a plan.
Because like Bastion and 2 right guards. Oh no, Hellbor free. Oh, okay.
Okay.
More fancy plans incoming, I would say. Maybe he gave up on the factory.
So he's gonna counterattack, I would say. Yes.
I think the Warp Gate can teleport ships. I think he might make Riistan make a deal. You may attack my factory. I will try to defend here, but if you fail, or maybe if you commit too much, you will be defenseless on your objective then.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking too. Like he will make a path in his home system so he can teleport his Hellbor frigate and then he can attack.
Or this right guard if needed.
Yes.
Maybe that's the idea. Let's see.
But it's definitely not what I expected. I expected him to move the Wraith Guard earlier and put it on the factory planet. So
Yeah,
this
just
was
go
unexpected.
the wall here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He's fighting more like guerrilla warfare here.
Yeah, he's giving up space to take space, basically.
True.
Then again, I guess that's what he's thinking about. He could. Yeah. If it was me, I would go for the defensive play. But if you look at what he strategized and what cards he picked, I understand now why he picked them to be on the aggressive side, right? So he's expecting to do a counterattack if the orc goes for the factory of the Eldar.
That may be the case. The small problem is that Alex does not have as many resources he has here. He has just 1 aspect, 1 frigate. He would need 3 ships in total. And 1 aspect, that would be not enough, I would say, because there's already Bastion. He's in a bit safer spot because he has still this 1 objective margin. Well, he's making trades right now, I believe. Maybe similar kind of dilemmas like we have.
Yeah, I would definitely like looking at the board state before we got everything revealed. I would have played it like I said. I would have, if I was the one playing, I would have teleported the Wraith Guard to the factory system, and basically invited the orc to come and try to get me. But this might put the orc in a bit of a conundrum. It's not just so easy that you just rush in, because if he wins the factory, yeah, but then he has to take the other one without losing his objective.
Too much of his garrison here as well.
Yes.
So he'll definitely empty some other planets. Yeah, this Hellbor is definitely signalizing that he is taking this option into account, because if he did not build, if he does not build the Hellbore, he would not have that option at all. Like we said, he needs 3 to
Yes,
to
to
just
get
bypass this factory
yes.
planet. So he leaves that option open, I would say. But on the other side, he cannot just left the factory defenseless because the orc will just go with one boy, and either you are left without the factory and without the option to take this objective. So
At the
you
moment,
have
it
to
seems
balance
like
that.
he's thinking about exactly what we were talking about. He's now putting an aspect warrior.
How to balance that?
But I would say if he doesn't go for the ship, it would have been better to warp in the Wraith Guard
Yes, before, because
beforehand.
for me it's either you have to, at some point you have to make a decision and commit to it, and uh, being in the middle too long in this situation might not be beneficial. Like you leaving yourself options open, but they will eventually get closed.
Yeah, I think the ship play is more of a like you described, the initiative play, where he tries to take the initiative. But in this case, being the second player, even if it feels kind of backwards being the one defending, yet if you manage to defend, you're in a very good position to then attack. So if the Eldar would beef up his defense on the factory, he kind of forces the Orc to
I
commit.
realized there is one more option right now.
Mm-hmm.
This might come out funny. If he does not build the frigate, which is okay, and he commit to defense the factory, the orc might move the orc boy from this planet where there is just one boy, to attack. And
Yeah,
then
sound
we can
control.
use the warp gate to teleport here and attack from the angle that was completely unexpected.
Yes.
And we have one Hellboard to do that. Maybe that's that's some kind of idea as well. Okay, so no Bastion.
Yeah.
So if no Bastion, then Rightborn Singers were a bit of a waste, I would say. But yeah, that is what we said about having options open. Okay.
Okay.
I'm really curious what come out of this. Because like Orc will just go with one boy here probably. Or maybe Eldar has an advance here. But that would be like
What do you
reading
think
in.
the
Yeah.
second Eldar is? The second Eldar objective order under the Orc attack is?
Alex is playing in the way that I start thinking it may be the advance, but that would be like reading in your opponent's mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Riistan is welcome to join the party then. I think it's really safe to just take this one orc boy from Orc's factory and take this.
Yeah,
But
that's the safer bet, and
he cannot
then
empty the objective because it's still warp gate there and still
yes.
many forces,
And if he only sends the Orc boy from his factory to the Eldar factory, he's still getting the factory and a land bridge to his objective. So
Exactly. That's probably safest. Yeah, this warp gate changes a lot during this like one card and so many calculations are shifted.
but if Eldar has an advance under this, it makes sense because when he placed that advance was when we were talking about, or I were talking about placing an advance on the gold mine planet of the Orc, right?
Mm-hmm.
But instead he might have chosen to put an advance there.
But he would really he had to really anticipate the double advance in his home system then, and this this is really like, you know, your opponent. We'll
Yeah.
see. No idea.
But then again, if you look at the Orc home system, he is blocked going towards the middle of the map. So I would say it's not super unreasonable for the Orc with 5 Orc boys to be Orky and just attack, 2 times. But it would be a very good read from the Eldar player. I agree. And I think not using the attack, I mean, he already has used to strategize, so I don't see a point not going for the factory, right?
Correct. Yeah, they've both already upgraded 3 cards. Round number 2, 3 cards. Nice. He's probably trying to anticipate if this Eldar token is an advance. I was at the beginning. I was thinking it might be the build, and
I'm thinking now that it is an advance, but I think for the Orc, anyhow, he's most likely gonna have to cap the factory like this, and with just one Orc boy and the one that went from his factory, just like he's playing it now. Because if he doesn't, and it's not an advance under his advance, he's gonna be kicking himself, and it doesn't weaken his objective that much either.
not at all here, because this is the Bastion is covering. Okay, this is limit of 3 on this planet.
Yes.
On the Orcish ones.
And the Eldar is in a great position if he has an advance there, because he then can use his warp gate to bring the Wraith Guard that we were speaking about earlier that is placed in the middle of the map to his home system, and then attack with full force on the
And
objective.
having 4 good units there.
Yes.
Whoa. Okay. The problem is the warp gate is the problem here.
Yes.
You see that.
Yes.
I mean,
this is a very risky play from the Orc if he commits to this, because the Eldar can move his Hellbore frigate from the middle of the map until the Orc home system, and then he has a line to attack the objective, and Orcs can't do anything about that. Yes.
Yeah, because there's no Orcish token.
No, it's only a Eldar token in the Orc home system,
which obviously is dominate.
And in the Eldar system, there's a Eldar token beneath his Orc advance, and then there's a Orc token. If he does this is very aggressive, and I would say I'm leaning towards it being a mistake because of Warp Gate.
I would say so.
Eldar probably has an advance in his home system. He might not have, but he definitely has Warp Gate, which is known information for the Orc, so he knows he can move the ship to the Orc home system.
Yeah,
maybe he hasn't calculated that though.
Okay, so I believe we see the warp gate teleporting the frigate right now. because this is
And
not.
if this is an advance, the elder, he doesn't even have to use his warp gate.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, to be honest, in this case. You can take that factory, that city and that objective. I will take second here.
Yeah.
So
There's
maybe
a lot of options
yeah.
now for the Eldar. Even the uncontrolled world in the home system of the Orc. This is very open for Eldar.
You see the Alex cursor probably.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. This is even
Yes.
this kind of warp gate is still
Yes.
still working.
But I feel like the safest option here is just warp gate the ship from the middle to the Orc home system and then attack. Then again, the Orc has a reinforcement token, but the Eldar has a Wraith Guard and 2 Aspect Warriors. I think that fight favors the Eldar more than the Orc.
It's 6 dice versus 4 at the beginning of the battle.
And then
Eldar already has some good cards.
Yeah, and the Orc cards lean more towards being in the greater numbers for the Orc, right? So cards like Wog or
He has one
Sea of Doom.
reinforcement. It's not
Yeah.
that much. Yeah, here we have it. Warp gate play.
Yes.
The frigate being teleported here.
Mm-hmm. I think this is the better play, yes.
The advance being played here. Okay, there will be still a fight.
Even if he, yeah, I guess if he loses, this would be bad, but otherwise,
If he loses, yeah, then it will be very bad.
then it would be very bad, yeah. But I feel like this is the easier fight for the Eldar, or the fight that makes more sense. Oh, 4 morale.
This is not good roll for Eldar, I would say. I mean,
No.
4 morals. You have really to draw a good defense card right now.
Yeah. Then again, the Orc rolled a lot of defense dice, so he's not in the...
Which he can reroll.
He can reroll them easier than the Eldar can reroll his dice, at least.
You know what? This is really surprising. I mean, this is quite bad luck for Eldar, because rolling 4 morale, which does not work until the end of the battle in that case. We'll see. But shoot the boys might be even good. And we have to remember the Orc has the Bastions, so he'll be able to take 2 damage without the consequence.
Mm-hmm. So do you think the Eldar will try to kill the Orc or go for a moral victory here?
I definitely think he'll go for moral victory. The problem is his deck is not suited well towards it.
Yes.
He still has the free upgrades. If he draw the right guard support, there's definitely, I would say, no point in trying to deal damage to Orcs at this point, because, like you see, he has 3 defense, and Bastion can be counted as additional 2, so that's 5.
Yes.
You have no cards yet to overcome this, so...
I think it depends on how the Orc plays, because the Orc can, of course, go aggressive now, and
Orc will try to kill Eldar, certainly, I would say.
Yes, and switch the shields, right? And then Eldar can counterattack.
So we can expect things like Shuta Boys, I would say.
And
maybe
a defensive
Vag.
play, maybe from Eldar. No, okay.
This is also a bit of defensive.
Yeah, I guess this is actually a good card, depending on the role of the Shuta Boys.
That would be my pick as well, probably Shuta Boys.
Okay, so
That's quite unfortunate for orcs.
yes.
You lose one guy.
And now I expect Eldar to have a rally. And turtle up, maybe? Do you think so? He will rally his Wraith Guard and just defend now, or?
You know, for orcs, if he kills everything, even if he dies, it's still a victory.
Yes, yes, of course. And that's why I'm expecting the Eldar to try to rally his Wraith Guard and be defensive now.
We might, I guess we might expect a biker naps right now. Because I would like to turn these guns on the Elder side back to something else.
Mm-hmm.
Because they suddenly become dangerous. You saw
Yes.
the situation before the battle. One reroll all the dice, another one plays offensive card, and now we have different thing. I would say biker naps would be safe.
Yeah. And Eldar definitely needs to get his Wraith Guard up because he's Eldar. He has 1 HP on his lower units.
The problem is he has not that strong backup card for Command of the Autarch.
Mm-hmm.
It's what I saw about the swooping hawks. They are probably the best in that kind of situation. Not to play
Yes.
them, but just to have this, strong pair.
The rally with the 2 defense, they work good in tandem with each other.
Exactly. Let's see. Okay. We might also expect Sea of Green because it's like free defense, like 1 and 1 plus reinforcement, but the bottom effect would not work if I recall correctly. You have to get numerous advantage, which
Yeah, of
is
course.
not.
I think if the orc has biker knobs, he's gonna play biker knobs, but we'll see. He has so much damage towards Eldar already, so I would expect him wanting to build
Hey,
on that.
right guard support. This makes sense.
Oh, okay.
I feel bad
Yeah,
for this. It
he's unlucky, so
definitely
but he can.
biker naps exactly. So aspects are dying.
Yes. Then again, since he has so many moral dice, he might be able to win just keeping the Wraith Guard alive.
You have to survive. Now
Mm-hmm.
he takes perfectly for ranger support. Okay, another Shuda boys, and
That's it. He wins.
that's it. Yeah. So they each has to reroll 1 shield.
Has he re-rolled the orc?
No, probably, but he should.
He should.
He has 1 boy, and that made him losing one of these units.
Exactly. That's why I'm thinking. Yeah, exactly.
And this is what happening. So he has to lose either boy or Bastion.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa! You know what?
Oh, interesting.
Riistan, you're still in game then.
He's also in the lead, I would say, all of a sudden.
Yes. Yes, but this is the game of Forbidden Stars. It happens sometimes that you roll quite weirdly. Okay, yeah, warp gate was used. I would say this is an advance here. Probably, yeah, Orc has another advance.
Oh, he chooses, yeah.
Okay, the situation suddenly become terrible for the Eldar. Because now he loses, if he loses another city,
And it will be first player.
Entire home system, he has just, well, still good incomes, still 8, but completely no infrastructure to build anything.
Yes.
And Nop and Boy on the another side of the galaxy to push you from another side. Oh. So maybe a bunch of information from the tournament statistics. The Eldar was top played faction up to this point. It has top wins, most wins. It was most times picks first, and also it was banned most times. So Eldar is a faction that each game has players touch it in some way, right? Either they play it or they ban it, or they win with it.
That's interesting because I think earlier tournaments, orcs have been
Yes.
in
It was
favor.
Orc dominate, right? No, maybe Eldar, because this is first tournament we are playing with 8 factions from with Galaxy in Flames expansion, and maybe Eldar turn out to be more popular in confrontation against newer factions as well.
Yes.
Hmm.
It might be at least people look at them as more flexible in fighting other factions, and that might change in the future.
Oh yeah, because we have. Did we mention the changes?
No, we haven't
Not yet.
mentioned the
Okay.
changes. So at the moment we're playing Forbidden Stars with the base game in the tournament and also the expansion Galaxy in Flames. And Galaxy in Flames is a fan-made expansion that adds 4 new races: the Necrons, the Tyranids, the Imperial Guard, and the Tau. And during the tournament, the creators of the expansion made changes, balancing changes. But we are playing with the version that was implemented when we started the tournament.
Yeah, to
So
be
there's
consistent.
yes, so there's changes coming. So next time, if there's a next tournament, there will be differences to the expansion factions, the Galaxy and Flames factions.
It's few nerfs basically, mainly for Tyranids, a bit for Necrons, and a small boost for Imperial Guard, if I recall. By the way, it was like we said, it was Eldar Advance here in his home system, and then we have again Orcs Advance, which just goes to not defended city.
Yes. I still think even now with all the information on the table, it was a good move by Elder to try to take this objective. And
Yes.
it was very unlucky to roll 4 morale. For people
and then fifth.
Yeah, for people who don't know, on the dice there are just one side of the 6-sided dice that are morale. So it's a low chance of rolling 4 morale in the opening combat.
Really has to be unlucky. Oh. Okay. Okay, so we have round number 3.
So now the economists should have turned a bit, right?
Definitely it will be 10 probably to 8 if I'm correct, or 9. Sorry. Okay. So yeah, Orcs got 9, Eldars got 8. Still not bad in terms of income, but in terms of like this positioning, it's very bad for Eldar right now. The one good information is he has this line of ships, and this gives him some time to build and probably to maybe destroy this Nap and Orc boy that is lurking in the corner.
Yes, I think he should be really happy that the Orc didn't draw the same event card that he did the last time and get 2 more Orc boys up in the top corner.
yeah, these two are one of the. I mean, Warboss is rather weak and situational, right? It can be war-free material at best, and two reinforcements are always good. But the best, which can benefit orcs here, are I think, how do we get here? Or this mob up, which is a free advance, and this is also one of the most game-changing.
Yes.
Okay, so he went for more boys, 2 reinforcement tokens for free, I believe.
Yeah, which makes more sense because it's like I said, if he got the one that he gets 2 more boys, this is a better version of it, but he can still protect his small knob camp up in the left corner of the map with the reinforcements.
It's his biggest hope, to be honest, right now, because Eldar completely cut off his free systems where he is able normally to build ships. So for okay, very good. Both very strong picks, and I have no idea what.
Outmaneuver.
Not sure because. Oh no, this warp. Okay. I was looking at the warp as well because this free material planet of orcs where he has the boy is also danger right now. The Eldar problem is he has to set up the base somewhere to start building units. Probably it will be the planet with what?
Oh, I thought he would put it on where his gold mine is up in the.
You know what? Yes, but on the 5th planet he has this Rightboard Singers. He can build a strong factory there.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking. But he's going for the outmaneuver to be able to defend, I guess.
This is also
yes.
Yeah, outmaneuver, in my opinion, is the best 1v1 scheme in the game. It's simply decided game. Second would be for me mob up, which is in Orc's possession. But this one, seriously, it's the only probably order in the game which messes with token order. I believe so. Maybe Galaxy in Flame introduces something, but I don't think so.
No, not in that kind of way. I know that in an expansion we're not using in Darkest or Symphony of War, I think it is. The Inquisition has something similar where they can put down orders during the setup, but not after they've been put down.
Oh yeah, it's if you mention Symphony of Wars, so it's a fun expansion made, by the way, developed by creators of this mod, which you see right now. It's being tested right now. The works are quite advanced. It introduces Adeptus Mechanicus, Dark Eldars, Adepta Sororita, and Inquisition.
Yeah, and it's fun to play with those also, and they're working on the balance of the factions.
Which is really difficult in this kind of asymmetrical games, right?
Yeah, and it gets exponentially harder because if you have 4 factions in the base and then you introduce 4 in Galaxy in Flames and then you introduce 4 more, of course you have to balance towards more and more factions.
And different player counts are still a problem, yeah, because the Forbidden Stars, what is interesting about this game is that it completely different plays at each player count. Like 1 versus 1, it's completely different story than 4 player.
Hmm. Yeah, and factions that are maybe strong in 1 versus 1 can be relatively weak in 4 versus 4, say, for example.
Yeah, to some degree, I agree. For instance, I would say Eldar has this kind of the dynamic. It's not weak in 4 player, but it hasn't got all these kind of advantages it got 1 versus 1. This kind of control over the board. And for instance, on the other spectrum is Chaos, which is rather weak 1 versus 1, but is, in my opinion, very strong 4 player.
Yes, I agree. So Eldar put down his first command token.
Yeah.
Probably trying to rebuild what he's lost.
Well, he definitely needs a factory this round, right? So we can expect maybe a double build somewhere. And taking this free material planet, that may be the idea. Double build, advance, something of this sort.
Yes, and then he will have a path towards the orc objective once again, since he has Hellbore frigates blocking the orcs from building ships in both the systems.
There will be still a problem to dissolve. It's these orcish guys in the corner.
Yes, this Nob militia in the top left is really a big problem for the Elder. And he can't
And
just get rid of them easily since he has 2 reinforcements now also, the orc.
we might see a factory build being built here. Maybe even with like work faster or something like this, because now Riistan got a free city.
Yes, exactly. And he kind of, like you said before, he has to establish a foothold, the orc, there to be a threat towards the Eldar, because the Eldar has blocked the orc off completely.
Yeah, if he get rid of this oil rig and he lose this in the corner, then then it's basically what we call a cage, right? That Eldar
Yes.
just chained someone other player in the skies. So you have like no opportunity to move. The only things that rescuing you is like how do we get here? Things like that, but you have to be lucky then.
Yeah. Fortunately for the orcs, he is now second player, and I would bet his plan is to take over the top left corner of the map as a final order. Maybe even
Yeah.
work faster as the final order, and then he already placed an advance right now. So
You know what? When I'm looking at this board, Alex might be still trying to do something weird. He has this hell board next to Eldar's objective.
mhm.
Cash is the problem, perhaps. How many? 9.
You're thinking he will go aggressive again?
He might, just
Yeah.
to keep him busy. But, well, not in this case, because that would require double advance, double build. So, yeah, there is something cooking in the corner.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yeah, this one was expected. So, do we see second build here in the middle?
Maybe he will put an advance towards the 3 material planet, the orc. Let's see.
Yeah, it's what I expect. He lost a lot of resources in his home system, so he has somehow to make up for it right now.
Yes.
Outmaneuver seems not necessary. The outmaneuver would be nice if Orc try to block him in the middle when he will be trying to build factory.
Hmm.
But not used, he can keep it.
If he keeps it and he's second player and he managed to get in a good position, that will be
Strong.
strong.
Okay.
Hmm.
So he has
So
another one.
he's just blocking him, I
Okay.
guess. I guess this is just a block, so he has to commit to the fight with at the gold mine with lesser units.
Mm-hmm. He
Which
will
is
just go
smart.
one. Yeah.
And if he loses, he's gonna be
Who
hurt.
is first? Elder right now.
Yes, Eldar is first, and I guess this is an advance in the new home system, if you would like, or the system with the Wraith Guard from the Orc. So he's really putting Eldar to the test what he wants to do. And he also has a reinforcement. The Orc, since he has an Orc boy, if he gets attacked, he has a reinforcement. And keep in mind, Sea of Green, so he can just route the Aspect Warrior straight up if he draws the Sea of Green in combat. I would say this favors the Orc very much.
Yeah, this kind of blockage. Like I see no future for this advance in this oil rig right now, because if he tries to orbital strike, he will free the Orc's home system, and that will
Yes.
allow him to build ships. We don't want like to do that. Now he has no forces to attack at all. He won't make ships on time because he was blocked. Probably you have just to wait and see. I'm not sure if even outmaneuvers helps you anyway in this.
I mean, if he, yeah,
Not at all, I would say, because you cannot
he
put
can.
both of your orders, right?
Yes, exactly. He can only move one of them. So if he moves one of his build orders, if we think there are build orders there, he will only be able to build. I guess he could build a bastion to defend the orcs' aggression, but then he won't be able to build anything more than just a factory later. But I would say
Maybe
the
that doesn't
most,
matter this round,
yeah,
because if he's the idea of double build this round probably was that he's able to field some forces to immediately attack with it. But as he was denied with this block, so maybe it's not that important, and building this bastion, like you said, makes some sense.
yeah, I'm leaning towards that solution, putting a bastion where the aspect warrior is in the middle of the map there to protect against the aggression from the orcs.
But that at the cost of using the outmaneuver.
Yes, using the outmaneuver and also putting a bastion on a planet where you maybe want to put, say, like a city.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but then again, if you don't do it, orcs will remove, most likely if they attack, they will remove 2 material from you, and they will just lose 1 material if they win. Because he will move from the 3 material
Oilric.
planet, yes, and take a 2 material planet from the Eldar. So that's a big swing and a good economical decision from the Orc player, I would say.
I agree, and also opens up a small possibility to reinforce further the attack on the objective, and
Yes.
forces to keep Eldar having 2 ships if more of these guys like you dominate in the future. Okay, something happens
Okay.
here.
So is
Oh,
he going to play that? Yes.
dominate here.
Yeah.
Okay, so he wants still to attack, but different manner. Okay, that we haven't considered.
Yes. So he's giving up 2 material there to reinforce his other. But then
That was
again,
one aspect.
this is more of an initiative play, like you were talking about earlier, I would say.
And that one aspect has nowhere to run, so he would be slaughtered probably if Alex really wants to. Because he has 2 orders here, so he is into something big. Yeah, the factory incoming.
Yep.
Factory or Bastion, but perhaps factory. Yeah.
Even a city would be viable if he has strategized, if he wants to just take up. But yeah, I think the factory is the smarter. And then Eldar attacks.
Okay.
This is very important battle.
And at least he didn't roll for morale this time.
Yeah, he has 1 reinforcement, but the orc can only put in 1 reinforcement also. Let's see if he decides that he needs the reinforcement here.
This battle is still very dangerous for Eldar because his aspect warrior has only 1 hit point, so
Yes.
anything you let go through kills something.
Yeah, and that's why the reinforcement makes sense from both sides.
This is really important for Eldar. If he wins, the situations remain stable, I would say. But
Yeah,
if
it
he loses,
normalizes the game a bit.
yeah,
But if he loses, I would
it's
say
terrible then.
it's not like the final, but basically.
And nothing to that.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Good
Very
card.
aggressive, yes. Let's see if he picked Sea of Green. I don't think so. Oh, yes.
But it doesn't help him. I mean, the effect does not work, but it's still a reinforcement.
Yeah.
And he has to kill something. It's 3 damage.
Yeah, it's 1 reinforcement.
Okay. So this round goes for Eldar.
Mm-hmm. And now if Eldar has the same card and keep up the pressure, it's probably in the bag for the Eldar. Since
I
he
would think
picked.
about support.
Okay, yeah. To
I
just
mean,
go defensive and try to keep your units alive so it doesn't suicide.
yeah, because it's 1 false move and you might be dead as well. I mean, there's not much that potential in the orcs right now, but still, Shuta boys may kill everything.
Yes.
So you still have to be careful. But fire dragons provide you with 2 defense. If he has second, probably it's good play.
Yeah, and he has 1 reinforcement that can take 1 of the damages.
For him, it will be good if just 1 guy lives, because I mean it's still okay because he attacks this oil rig which has the capacity of 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, fire dragons. Okay.
It's good play, definitely. Shoot a boys? No. He tries to withstand.
I should explain also for people watching, when you initiate combat, you have 10 combat cards, 2 of each like duplicates, like both have played right now. But you're not guaranteed to have all your cards because you only draw 5 out of the 10 in the combat deck. So sometimes you might have bought 2 cards and you don't get them.
Yeah, but as you keep upgrading your cards, you're getting better. Okay. So
he's trying to suicide here, and he doesn't want defense dice. But he kills 1 unit. But this is good for the Eldar, I would say. It's not good losing a unit, but
it's perfect.
He needed to win this fight.
And it's perfectly won because it's just 1 capacity. So it was like if he didn't play that reinforcement, yeah,
Yes.
that would be very bad.
Well, he still has the shoot and move card, right? The
Mm,
Eldar?
no. You mean this hit and run, right?
Yes, he has that in
No.
the combat deck.
You say so?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you're
he
right.
hasn't replaced it, so
Okay.
so basically that card makes you being able to move units from the combat area, so he could have potentially saved a unit.
That would be but at the cost of losing this battle. This
Yes. So
it's too
in this
dangerous
case,
versus orcs.
yes,
Yeah, but and Eldar also has a combat level 2 card, Wave Serpent, which allows to start the battle this way. Really strong one. Okay, so we have the factory. By the way, what orc has there? Okay, advance, obviously. Eldar really needs ships below the free material planet. I don't know if you have the same perspective as me. I have the Eldar's factory on the top right now.
I'm looking it from the orc player's perspective when
Me too.
filming. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. So there is, I mean, probably Orc will do as much as possible to benefit from his factory in the corner from this, this small expedition that began.
Yes.
But in the backup, just as a backup, he can use these orc rocks to go into this free material, this free planet without the material, in the same system as this free material planet, and
Yes, in the middle, the one with that has the uncontrolled, right?
yeah, the Mars one.
Yes, the red planet.
The red planet, and that explains why he builds forces there right now, just to have both options open, because Eldar will be second player next round, so he'll definitely fortify in his new home system. Let's call it like this.
Yeah. Yeah, and Eldar won't be able to, even if he builds ships now, he won't be able to both defend the factory that is built next round from the knobs up to the left corner, and also manage to block the lower Mars planet.
He need a frigate there.
Yeah.
Will we see it? He has 7 material. Two aspects, and I would say it will, one Hellbor is definitely welcome.
It will build a bastion probably on the factory. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. With Wraithbone, that makes sense.
okay.
The thing is, he hasn't strategized this round, right? So if he gets, say, warp gates or something, he's not going to be able to use it, which will be irritating.
Yeah, Orcs at least put his successful advance there. This game has turned into really interesting way. I mean, it's not something I expected when I started at the board at the very beginning.
Yeah, it's a very swingy game, and keep in mind we're starting the 4th turn now, so we've just played like half of the game, but for me it feels like we played maybe 3 games because it's been so swingy back and forth.
So intense.
And I'm not even playing. I can imagine these players how they feel.
It's completely different story when you look on the board and you are not involved in play.
Yeah, exactly.
They are, by the way, they are equal on the material, so each player receives 9.
Yes. At the moment, I would say the Eldar is a bit more in the lead position-wise, but the Orc is more in the lead in units on the board. So
material-wise.
yeah,
Definitely.
material on the board, basically.
Mob up, not very. I mean, this warp is very lucky for Alex right now because
Yes.
it closes this, but mob up is very good scheme. On the other hand, he might
This,
not use it immediately, but it will
but
be definitely.
I would say that that warp storm movement that Riistan the Orc had to do really, it made things easier for Eldar, because now he can focus on weeding out the top left and then just block the bottom of the map. And if he managed to do that, then he can just choose when to strike.
Yeah, he can fully commit to that.
So once again, it's a bit of a swing. Not that the Eldar are in the lead, but they are in a favorable position being the second player, and they have a clear goal what they need to do this round, I would say.
What would you do if you were orcs on this? On this?
Oh, this is hard. I might actually even uh, try to do something like spread in the top left, because he has the ability to build ships there at the moment.
Correct. There is
So
factory.
yes, there is a factory there. So he might be tempted to go for that. And if he builds in that system, depending on how aggressive he wants to be, he can still put a lot of pressure towards the Eldar new home system, if you would like the middle.
And the task of defending as an orc is a bit easier because mob up allows you to just forget about advance in your order to counter-strike if Eldar wants to take this planet where Nob and Orc Boys is standing.
Yes.
Yeah, so mob up just will automatically works there. I would probably go for tier 2 as an orc.
Yeah, he already has
One city.
one city, yes. And he has a space in his home system where he can place a city.
Bit dangerous still because 9 material could really deplete quickly if you want to. He has building capacity of 4, so that's that's 2 naps, 1 ship, or, 3 guys, 1 ship, something like this.
Yeah, but going for a tech up is also a bit dangerous, since the Eldar can threaten to take back his city in his old home system. So if you time it or you mistime it, you might be left with a strategize that you cannot utilize. If
Yeah,
you build,
perhaps too risky.
yeah, if you build a city and the Eldar takes the city that you already own, then you're back to tier 1 in tech.
Did you see? We
Oh,
have an elder token, his old home system.
Yeah.
Okay, we have something really interesting going on. He's probably expanding both ways.
I'm thinking maybe it might be a strategize just to threaten the attack, because he has ships there, so he can strategize.
Correct.
Because I imagine Eldar really wants to put the hurt on the orc top left. He needs to control that.
Fully agree. This might be a distraction. I mean, taking a city here for a moment is okay, but not where an orcs has the mob up on the board. Like,
I would prioritize exterminating the top left forward operation base of the orcs over giving them, like, trying to block their tech up, because they can be as strong as they want, but if they're if they're stuck on their little land bridge over in the right, doesn't gonna make much difference.
Agree. There is only how do we get here, which is rescuing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah. They definitely both focused hard.
On the top left, yeah.
In the last one, we are expecting a build from the Eldar. Okay, advance here as well. And building time.
Yep. So Orc is completely blocked.
Strong build. Like 2 right guards, something like this. He has 10. Whoa,
he can't
that
build
allowed...
a Wraith Guard. He has no city.
Yeah, sorry. I forgot about this. So this is the raid guard which teleported from the very beginning here and stand there.
Yep. It's the original Wraith Guard.
Yeah, the original one. By the way, when I'm looking at our Discord channel, I see we have 12 players engaged in total. I mean, some are watching our game, some are playing 4-player games probably, and our 2 finalists. Nice, really nice that such an old and good game still gets a lot of attention.
Yeah, it's very good. I think it's a game that it's really unlucky that it's out of print, because if it wasn't, I think it would be even more popular. But then again, you can play it here in the mods tabletop simulator
for free, and it's not out of print there.
Exactly. And if you do, there's a lot of people that are willing to help you learn to play, and it's really fun, really deep game. I would say for a war game, pretty easy to learn, like the basics, but hard to master, like any good RTS should be.
Yes, this kind, definitely. You have painted minis here.
So, yeah, I would expect him to reinforce. I thought he would go for a ship also. Let's see if he does that.
Maybe he keeps 2 material for last upgrade for these swooping hogs.
Yes.
Oh,
he's
no.
going for 2 ships.
Okay.
So he's going to make a land or airship bridge to the factory.
Directly attack,
yes.
attack the factory.
Yes. It's kind of risky though. I guess he has the dice advantage, but the orc has a reinforcement at hand, so yeah. And the orc does not attack. Interesting.
He has mob up. He will react.
He will counter, yeah.
And he would have to fight with the Bastion as well. And now there will be a little more spread out.
Yes. Do you think he will move just his, the one on the 2 material, or no? Yeah.
He still has the second advance. Well, this round he won't be contested in the middle, but you still has to take into account next, because one mistake, he'll be first player next round.
Yeah. And now if the orc uses mob up,
he has to.
He has to, basically, yeah. And then the elder has the second advance. And he still has at least 2 aspect warriors and a wraith guard, yeah. Yeah, the orc uses mob up to attack.
I expect ranger support to be played first round if he draw. Just retreat.
Just retreat, yes.
Or hit and
Hit
run
and
to
run.
move into
But
this planet.
he didn't get morale. You need a
Yeah,
morale, right? To yeah.
right. Right. But that would be like amazing, right? The opponent
It's
attack you.
yeah, it's still he can put it on the two material planet, which would then make it his still in the end of the round.
Oh, that would kill hit and run idea anyway. Yeah,
Yeah,
Ranger support.
yeah.
And he can use the another one.
hmm So
Okay,
that was very good that he draw the ranger support, and now I can use the other one to attack.
strategize. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
the
and
orc has 9 to build, so
so swooping hoax. Corsair rates. Ah, I made a mistake earlier. I thought Elder already upgraded 3 cards, but only 2.
hmm
So Orc had an advantage in terms of upgraded cards.
yes, exactly. He have yet to pick Wraithguard Advance or Swooping Hawks. Do you think the orc will try to establish a foothold on the two material planets in his
In this
factory
round,
system? Yeah, when he's building, or do you think he just will build on the? I guess building on the two material planets also makes sense, right?
I think, well, I think you need something on this 2 material planet just to have this connection to the objective.
hmm
So yes, but on the other hand, your factory is threatened right now. So, but 9 material, maybe it's possible to do both. Like
Yeah.
build Bastion Knob on the 2 material planet and 2 units on your factory. Okay, swooping hoax. And you get rid of hit and run. So a little more defensive right now. So
Yes.
deck got back to balanced state, I would say.
Yeah, I would say so too.
Okay, so 9 material first, Nop, and probably we expect 3 boys or 2 boys and a Bastion, right? 2 boys and a Bastion, or maybe a card if he, but he has he has one more order.
Yeah, he has 3 boys to build, so 2 boys.
I wonder what it is. If that was a dominate, then why wouldn't play it first? Okay, that is strong right now.
Yes.
That is a serious problem for Eldar.
Yeah, I would agree. And the orc is second player next round.
Second, right?
It's almost like I favor going for the factory there, but yeah, both are bad.
Exactly. I mean, both are risky at this point.
Yeah.
You know, he'll go somewhere. Yeah,
Okay, he's going from there.
this is safer because you cut off the opportunity to go. You still have this 1 planet buffer, and this is 2 material planet, but the factory is still intact.
hmm
Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
so
The
nice
orc can
mirror.
re-roll this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. For orcs, it's not a problem.
This is
For
deceptive also. I don't think at this level they understand this, but it can be very deceptive for new players when orcs roll this many shields and then all of a sudden they're attacking you full on when they play one card.
yeah, and Eldar also has some opportunities. Like right guard support can turn 2 of these guns into shields and add
hmm
another one. Okay, we see the reinforcement. That's the only one they've got.
Yeah. If the Eldar manage to win and take over the Bastion and then push back the orcs, one of the orcs have to die, so the orc boy probably. So yeah.
And on the morale, they're aligned as well. I see that. They perfectly
Yes.
aligned on everything.
I would say this is more of an important fight for the Eldar than the orc, but it's important for both, definitely.
They
But
notice it too, I think.
yeah, I would say this Eldar will suffer more from losing
Losing.
this. Yes.
Yes, definitely, because all the units will remain and they will be attacking you probably next round.
Yeah.
Depends on the casualties as well.
Yeah. But I feel like the orc has easier decisions because he has the bastion and he has the knob. So he has
He
two
can be more
tanky.
aggressive.
He can be more aggressive for free, or not for free, but less risky aggressiveness.
I agree.
And that's probably why he's thinking so hard about what card to play.
Okay, we won't see hit and run. It won't be a good pick for this battle, I think.
Yeah, which is a great point because that means hit and run is basically, if he has two hit and runs, they are just sitting in his hand, not doing anything good. So
Yeah, Fire Dragons or Right Guard support depends how he wants to play. If he wants to put some pressure.
oh,
Yeah.
fire dragons, yes.
Okay.
And is, I'm guessing, thinking, oh, Sea of
Sea of
Green.
Green.
Yeah.
You were expecting Shuta boys?
Yeah.
Me too, to be honest.
Aggressive.
But this makes sense. Orc
Yeah. It's a
tries to.
safer play.
And still, Vak. We haven't seen Vak this game, and it still waits. It waits for its moment. He builds up for a Vak.
If he has another Sea of Green, he might play that and then a Wag in the end, which would be very strong.
It's something I thought of. You will have +4 guns in the third round then, because 4 boys.
Yeah, assuming he can tank everything and all that. So
He has a Bastion and Knob.
yeah, exactly. So most likely, yes.
So quite a lot of hit points. Okay, right guard support this time. Right guard, Fire Dragons is nice, but the shields does not consolidate. Okay. He rolled on shield.
No, he picked a shield, which is
No.
kind of strange. He needs to roll that.
Yeah. I wasn't putting attention, but it has to be the random one.
Yeah, it has to be it needs to roll.
Either moral or random one. Moral also makes sense as. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, he's converting two of them into defense. Yes. But if the orc has Wog, yeah, then
yeah.
he does.
Okay, strong one. the VAC attack you both on the guns and morale.
Yes, but at least he doesn't break through this round.
This kind of outcome won't be terrible for Eldar, because he will probably save his units, but
Yes, as long as he doesn't lose his units, which would be the worst case scenario, I would say.
definitely. I don't think Eldar has a card which can turn the tides right now.
No, I think consolidating and surviving is more important than
So another support, or maybe Swooping Hawks.
Swooping Hawks, maybe. Yeah, it's become more of surviving the battle than winning it.
Swooping Hawks is surprisingly good counter to VAC.
Yeah, it removes
The
the
guns.
attacker. Yeah. Okay, he's rallying.
Oh, maybe he's trying to win.
That's interesting. I'm not sure he can win.
I don't think so. It's just too big swing in the morale.
He could be playing this to bring the unit back and then use Swooping Hawks together with it, but then I would say, yeah, okay. Maybe he didn't even have Swooping Hawks.
Yeah, that was the best he had. Oh. Okay. So.
Okay, so Orcs win by morale. And Eldar has to retreat.
All in the one place.
Yep. And now Orcs have a strong foothold and is second player next round. So, yeah, now I would say it's favored Orcs.
5 units, which will come for you.
At least he made him use mob up so he can't just win this battle outright.
Oh, Orc has another advance here.
He had an advance in the bottom. And then a dominate, okay.
Okay, and dominate.
Where did he get the reinforcements from? Did I miss something?
From dominate right now.
Oh yeah, he dominated up in the in the new Orky system.
Okay, let's see the cards. How many they've got? Not sure.
Orcs gets
two. Okay, gets them might be very useful, actually, versus this lone right guard.
But then again, more boys is, yeah.
It's just good.
He can only get so many boys, you know. He only has one more of the plastic ones to build.
Oh yeah, so reinforcement maybe. I've got it, and you can move that. By the way, he has to move this warp exactly, because if that closes again, okay, absolutely makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I would probably have picked the same. I understand.
And what do we have there? Warp gate.
Warp gate.
But with the effect? Did he got the token?
So what did he do? He attacked ×2, right? And then build.
Yeah, he had strategized, I believe.
Strategize for Swooping Hawks. So yeah.
So we'll set the warp gate.
Which kind of saves him down in the middle. He can block. Most likely, needed. He is first player. Yes, if needed, he can block that. But
the thing is,
big problems other
other
places.
Yeah, and another thing is, all of his 6 ships are already doing something important, I would say.
Yes.
Not that much of an help. Outmaneuver would be better in this case. Or even this free city.
Yeah, Free City would have been very good.
This is kind of state which can be a bit determined by the event card you draw. For instance, if I draw this card which allows you to reroll your orbital strike, maybe I would try to construct some around it for this round, because big problems incoming.
Yes, yes.
And you somehow has to weaker that.
Yeah, I think the board state as it is this round, round number 5, it favors the orcs. It's more pressure on the Eldar to find a solution to the problem. Then again, orcs have the problem being stuck in the right corner of the map with a lot of units. And if I know orcs right, they would be very mad at not having something to squish.
You know, but Ark might try to do something on two fronts, because this taking this Eldar home is like you don't have to commit as much. It's just to block your opponent with one advance and maybe put something on top in your next in your system, just to don't allow him to do something first.
And then expand towards the gold mine in the middle. Yeah.
This is what I'm thinking.
And crush Eldar by economy and map control more than maybe straight head on.
Yeah, if that's not success. Okay, so last two, I really feel that has to be something here.
So you think it's a strategy I see placed at the Eldar old home system? I don't know if he's trying to take up or if he's trying to be aggressive from both sides, like you said.
He has already a lot of units. He might this time try to go for combat level 2 card to just make this attack better. But hard to tell. To be honest, I expected heavier token play in the systems which are not very involved at the moment.
Yeah, I would agree to that.
Eldar played something in his objective system. It may be the advance, some kind of counter-strike, but not many forces to perform that. But the thing is, if you're a first player, you're always, often defending by counter-strikes, by taking back what you lost, and when you're a second player, by blocking your opponent. This is also kind of dynamics that can be seen across many Forbidden Stars games.
Yeah, and Eldar can't just march into the orcs' new factory system, because orcs now have a lot of reinforcements and a bastion, so that would be a lot of it would be a all in more than one way.
Suicide.
And since he's the first player, the orc can just block him, as it is right now at least.
So, I think these two orders which orcs played maybe the build and strategize. I think it may be the case.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because it's a solid option, but more less risky, I would say.
Yeah, and you don't have to commit as much to defending this in the top left. These 3 reinforcements, yeah. That was a really good event.
Yeah. He's already strong in the defense, and it's a 2-step for the Eldar, or potentially 1 step, but it's a very risky step to do. The Eldar could go all in with 3 aspect warriors and a wraith guard and attack the factory.
He already tried once, I believe, something like this.
Yeah, and if
That's
the
why we
orc,
see this game.
yes, exactly, and if the
Lol.
orc just blocks that, that's gonna be hard to deal with. And then even if you win and take the factory, the orc can just use the 2 material planet to re-aggress towards the factory, or take the Eldar factory in the new Eldar system in the middle. But it's a good showcase of different strengths of the factions, right? Like Eldar using those voids that we were talking about to block the orc from being able to just run him over, and the orc is using his flexibility to try to get around the blocking of the Eldar.
Yeah, do whatever he can to just stay on this land.
Yeah, exactly. Put pressure towards the Eldar. Now we have a Eldar token in the top left.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very swingy game, but in its guts, it's very classic for these factions. I mean, like you said, it displays the characteristics of the factions well.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this matchup, not my favorite one, but this is like showcase of strong factions.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to see my favorite one during this tournament. And I don't think there was a single game. It's Chaos Space Marine versus Space Marine.
Oh, yeah. I played one of those games the other day. It's fun.
Lovely one. Very late game oriented.
When I started playing this game, my friend that I played most with, which was he's very good at board games also. He only played the Chaos Space Marines, and I played Space Marines, so we had a lot of those matchups.
That's the introductory game from the book as well.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Eldar is going aggressive for the factory, I feel like, and the orc is countering it. I think the Eldar might feel like he has to wipe out the orcs this round, or he will have problems.
But the problem is he haven't got as much force to do it, I think. He might lack some units. Okay, he already started with Warp Gate.
Yeah, this might be an all-in, no?
Okay. So this is the idea. I would like to wait and see for...
Yeah. But the orc has the orders down in the bottom right, so he's not forced to attack at least.
But in this way, if Eldar attacks with 4 units versus this 2 and a Bastion, it's a little better than previous battle.
Mm-hmm.
But if he wants to do something like this, he has to do it now, because if this is built and strategize, once tier 2 hits the board, it might be too late.
Yes. But do you think he will go for the 2 pop planet with the bastion, or the factory? Factory is riskier, of course, since he has 3 reinforcement, the orc player.
I would say. Oh, we lost the player. Okay. So let's wait. I believe Eldar has to go for this Bastion planet to just shield himself from potential counterattack. Because you know what I mean. If he attacks his factory, there will be still Nob and Boy, which can go for the objective.
Yeah. I'm just gonna save the game unless
Mm-hmm.
something happens.
Okay. I answered him.
He seems to be back in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Picks a seat. Yeah.
Oh, again. Maybe some kind of connection problems. Happens sometimes on TTS.
Maybe it's some peer-to-peer thing. I saved the game at least, so should be all good.
Okay.
Let's try again. See if it stabilizes.
So if this is built and strategized, I'm not sure, but it's what I'm guessing. So that would be choice between waiting and see and just immediately go to Eldar and try to crush him with 5 guys and 3 reinforcements. I don't see a scenario where this does not goes well. I mean, if you draw at least one VAC,
Yeah.
the VAC is really strong with this, with all these reinforcements and these boys.
2 knobs and 3 boys.
That's insane firepower.
And then, yeah, so it's 6
Hit
boys
points.
total with the reinforcements.
Yeah, and so many hit points. Okay, he went for strategize first. So I'm curious, what is the another one?
Interesting.
Okay, maybe Meganops
So,
and Green Tide. That might be the Green Tide somewhere.
yeah, he's going for, yep.
Let's see. But I would probably. I mean, Green Tide is really flexible card. It won me one game during this tournament.
Yeah, he gets the green tide.
It's really good. It's so basically you can use your strategize as every order.
Yeah.
I mean,
Any
choose
other order, yeah.
any other, exactly. Very flexible. What is that building here?
Yeah. So he's building a city.
Maybe is that Eldar is stacking to level 2.
Yeah, I'm feeling like he might have a dominate on his new home system to move the aspect warrior there to get even stronger, but he can't. He has four units already.
Capacity, right?
Yeah.
Okay. There we
Okay.
have it.
Here we
It
go.
will be all in, I feel.
And
5
this
units.
favors the orcs, like you said, I would say.
Yeah, and we'll see 3 reinforcement. That would be slaughter. Okay, one more guy. Okay, it's that big battle that one knob wasn't
Yep.
taken by script.
If you type to them, so.
All right. Oh,
He's thinking about the. How there you go.
reinforce.
Yeah. There's so many units. Like where are they going?
There is no reason not to take 3 reinforcement in that
Yes.
battle.
Yes. Oh Jesus.
Oh man.
So he has
I'm not
20
sure.
HP. His units in combine has 20 HP.
Basically, you don't care for your defense this battle.
Yeah, and Eldar has 10 HP, so Eldar has half the HP of the Orc.
But one more morale. The question is if Eldar is able to withstand the guns which are going to be pumped by orcs, because I really feel if orc will play as many vacs as possible, it's both morale and guns.
Yes. He can be unlucky and not draw any of the wogs.
And maybe one of your offensive cards. If he has not got any of the wax, then still Mega Nobs will reroll these guns, which not guns.
The shields.
Or oh no, there is no need to play Mega Nobs. Yeah, this.
No. Mega Nobs versus him would just give the Eldar probably what he wants, a chance to reroll.
So Biker Nobs in this situation.
Yeah.
Interesting. The main question is if how many vacs do orc player has?
Yeah, but even if say he only draws one wog, he has a good chance of drawing Sea of Green, for example. He can route and then get even more guns. So
Sea of Green is also strong here.
Yeah. Since he gets free routes then, so.
I haven't seen that line of guys in ages, I think.
No. It's gonna be a problem if he keeps playing Sea of Green.
It's, by the way, he hits the capacity because it's maximum 5 units that you can bring into single battle and free reinforcement, so it's absolute maximum. Maybe there are some effects that.
Yeah, exactly. For people who don't play this game normally, if you attack, the maximum of units you can bring to a battle on a planet is 5. That's the hard cap. You can't bring any more units even if you're able.
Yeah, and 5 units is already insane.
Yes, especially this combination. So the card that we are talking about, Wog, it brings guns for every orc boy, and since the reinforcement tokens are counted as orc boys, he basically has I would say a perfect setup for playing Wog. Maybe he could have one more knob and one less orc boy or whatever, but yeah, this is a very strong setup for that card.
Even swooping hawks aren't that great. I mean, still good, but they prevent 3 guns, if I'm correct.
Yes, 3 guns. So
and Vac has no upper limit.
Exactly.
That's insane.
So even swooping hawks that would remove 3 of the guns still gets 3 guns. So
Vag is often considered being the single most powerful combat card in the game in terms of cost benefits. Because of course they are better cards, but like it's level till 0, you don't need a city. It has rally without condition, and then brings guns for every boy, and you usually has many. Okay, I see why he plays this, because it rerolls the shields.
Yes, he wants to open up for the Wog.
Command. Okay. That may be maybe he expected Sea of Green.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
That's probably why.
Because he cannot get any. Either he cannot rally unit and he cannot get morale because you can have maximum 8 die.
Yes, he expected Sea of Green, so he was trying to counter that.
Yeah.
At least he can take the damage on the Bastion for now, but he knows what's coming, I would assume.
Yeah, if he has two Vax, then we'll see two Vax being played, right? He has two probably.
Here comes the Wag. Yep.
Well, there are no arguments.
And he can't gain, but he can convert at least.
You know, I think this command of the Autarch wasn't the best play in this situation.
No. I can see what he was trying to do, but yeah, a bit risky.
But you could achieve the same result with right guard support.
Mm-hmm.
It has built-in rally as well, and is more flexible.
Now he has to take 5 damage, which, yeah, it's gonna be
A lot.
a lot.
It's a lot, really. It's something that at least one unit will be dead.
Yeah. If it were the other way around and the orc had to take 5 damage, that's not that bad for the orcs, since, like I said, they have 20 HP and in combined of all their units, and the Elder has 10. But the other way around, this is bad for the Elder. So 1 damage.
Oh, no,
No.
one more.
Yeah, 1 more in that case. He has to sacrifice 2 of his aspect warriors.
Okay, and road right guard.
Route, yes.
No good choices in when
And
you
now,
get.
if orcs have another Wog, yeah, seals the deal.
Yeah, it's obliteration then.
I have a feeling he has another Wog.
I
I
think
don't know
so.
how he plays, but we'll see.
Uwimai's also Shuta boys are very strong here because, oh yeah, this is
Oh.
also very strong.
Yeah. Here we go.
Because every shield might potentially become a gun.
Exactly. Yeah, this is even stronger, I think. Ooh, he didn't roll very good. Oh, the Eldar
But
didn't roll
Eldar.
very good either.
Yes. Okay. It completely kills the everything Eldar has. I mean, right guard will survive. You can retreat when you need.
I mean, he could retreat the aspect warrior, kill the bastion, and then the wraith guard has to fall back, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he can save 1 more unit, but
Yes.
it won't matter, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would try to attack this orc bastion planet before. It was his best bet to prevent this from happening because we already seen that.
Yeah. And since the orc wins, and how the tokens are, I don't know, Eldar is routed, so I don't think he can counter